is very important to forget the past 3 years and to focus on good times. I think that's what everybody wants at the club, is what every fan around the world wants. But at the same time, I think he's intelligent to understand that times are different and realities are different. I don't think it's possible for Man United to win so much in the next 20 years than it happened in the past 20 years. I don't think it's possible. Time change. There was a very important evolution in our Premier League, and I think that's very, very difficult. But at the same time, I think to repeat year after year what happened in the past three, I don't think that's Man United too. So I want to be positive. I want to bring the motivational levels up. I want to bring confidence back, but being intelligent and know that the reality we face in the Premier League is different than 10, 20 years ago.
Jose, we're of course in the middle of the transfer window at the moment, and you've made some signings very, very quickly. One player you've been linked with a lot over the past couple of weeks is Paul Pogba, and there have been reports from Sky in Italy that Manchester United have made a €100 million bid for him. What is this situation regarding Paul Pogba?
The situation is that I refuse to speak about players from other clubs. I don't like when other clubs they do that in relation to my players. I don't do that in relation to their players, in this case to Juventus players. I think we start in a very good way in the market. I think our 31st of August will be calm. We set 4 targets for us. We got 3 of them, and we are going to get the 4th. But that's not the way we work. We don't put everything in one player. We have more options. Before the phase, we have the profile. We studied the best we could the Man United squad from the last season. We established the profile of 4 players to improve the squad, to give us more options, especially adapted to my way of seeing football. And in a very early stage of the market, Mr. Woodward and the owners, they did it very well for me by bringing 3 players that we consider fundamentals: 1 central defender, 1 striker, and 1 creative player, if you want to call that way. You have smoke, you have fire. We used to say something like that, right? So I'm not going to be or try to make you naive and believe that we are not trying 1 player, but we know, first of all, that the player belongs to another club, which is not a small club, is also a big club, a club with economical power, to fight for their best players, to try to keep their best players. A part of that, we know that other clubs are also involved. And for us, it's not the kind of, are we going to win the race or to lose the race? It's not a race, it's just a market. And when you go to the market, you have other options. You cannot focus just on one. So we are in a very comfortable situation. My relation with Mr. Woodward is very good, is very open.
Could I just ask you about Wayne Roony? Obviously, as the captain of the club, you've brought in a player in Mkhitaryan who seems to be able to play in a long-term position, presumably can play elsewhere. Is Roony going to be your captain this season? And if so, whereabouts in your team do you see him playing?
You know, I'm quite surprised with so many question marks around this guy. I know that at the national team level you have this capacity of trying to make things complicated for yourself. So what happened around him in the summer was not a surprise for me. But in my club, we are not going to have that. He is the club captain, he is the manager's captain, he is the player's captain. I trust him a lot. I think he's going to be a very important player for me. And no problem for him. He knows that he has to work hard. He knows that, but I think there is nothing new in his career. Everything he got, I think nobody offered him. He had to fight for it, and with me, it's not going to be different. But yes, he's my captain.